This is the Doc from the Stogie Fresh 5 podcast, and you're listening to the Geeks, the Stogie Geeks, with Tim and Paul. Kick back and enjoy as the Geeks kick ass each week. Listen in to the regular episodes as they smoke and chat about their weekly list of stogies. And now, back to the Stogie Geeks.
Rappers, too.
Welcome back to the Stogie Geeks Show. Want to remind everyone to check out our website, www.stogiegeeks.com, for all the latest reviews, cigars we've been smoking, and podcast and videos. We're working on getting the previous videos posted. We had some post-production issues. We have all the videos. They will be in the feed, I promise. So we're working on
straight because I got them now.
Yeah, we're working on getting them caught up. So our AV audiovisual engineer had some issues. So bandwidth related, actually. He moved where he couldn't actually upload the videos, so we're lagging behind. But we'll get caught up. Like I said, we have them all, so you'll be able to watch us smoke cigars and get drunk, which is great. Not
sure who wants to look at our mugs, but okay.
Tim, I want to know how your cigar's doing.
So I just finished it. Let me say this. I think it's held up better than some of the other number 9s in my humidor. I have some Robustos and Toros that are just as old, which I think have gone a little flat. This thing certainly had a lot of flavor still. I nubbed it, right down to the half-inch mark in an hour? Less than an hour. Enjoyed it, but I think the T52 Flying Pig is still a favorite of mine. If I had to pick, and just me personally, just lit up a Raz actually after your last.
Yes, so. A couple of people. Maybe someone else was doing that as well, or maybe it was just you. But
yeah, we've been chatting in the chat room here, so think what the heck, I got a few left. Why not?
So the segment that we've got going on here is the right way to light a cigar. Some will say there's really no right or wrong way to do things with cigars. Just ask Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
he can give you some insight into that. Lighting a cigar, I had to throw that in there. Lighting a cigar is really not one of those things. There is a right way and wrong. Now, there's some variations and differences, but I guess we should really title this like do's and don'ts of lighting a cigar. Mm-hmm. This is an important thing because it can really affect your smoking experience. I tried to kind of key off of mistakes I made when I first started smoking cigars, and when I get someone comes into Studio B or the man cave here, and they're first lighting up a cigar, the mistakes that they make when they light a cigar.
We throw them out.
Yeah, if you can't do it right after the second time, you're out. You get one shot, that's it. There's no 3 strikes. There's one shot, that's it. You're out. So step 1. Now this is going to sound ridiculous to the seasoned cigar smoker, but we can all give first-hand accounts of someone doing this. Make sure you remove any bands from the foot or any cedar wrappings around the cigar before you light it. I'm not kidding. I've heard stories of people lighting the cigar with the cedar. You've seen it, right?
I saw it at one of Joel's events.
Yeah, actually, we were down at one of the manufacturers down in Honduras, and a gentleman's over here. He's smoking. He says, "This thing smells and tastes just like cedar." Yeah, take the wrap off. You may find it may not taste as much. But anyway.
Yeah, you got to remove all that stuff. I mean, that's just, do we have to say you have to remove the cellophane? I mean, come on. Yeah, okay. Step 2, toast the foot. I think this is important. I know some people don't toast the foot. I have to admit, I probably toast the foot maybe 90% of the time.
I always do.
When I might not is maybe when I'm in the car. When I'm in the car and I'm driving, it's tough to kind of look down at your cigar and toast the foot.
So let's talk about toasting the foot a little bit.
Yeah, I think it gives you a much better burn, avoids the crooked burn lines, allowing you to light your cigar evenly. Some people will actually lick the foot, like put the whole foot of the cigar in their mouth, almost like a popsicle. When you find out how many hands have touched your cigar, I promise you won't do that anymore. It's 150
100 times, yeah.
Yeah, 100 times, over 100 times. So 100 different people have touched the paco leaf before it goes into the cigar. So I stopped licking the foot like that. I mean, the thought was, I guess if you get the end a little moist, you do get an even burn or better better burn.
There's a whole bunch of jokes just waiting here in the wings.
Oh, yes, there sure is. Let's try and avoid them and get through the
Are you
segment.
Rex Ryan?
So the trick here is when you toast the foot, I think a butane torch lighter is probably your best bet for toasting the foot, rather. Hold the cigar at a 45-degree angle well above the flame. And
yes, well above.
And roll the cigar and turn the entire foot black. That's really all it is. It's important to be above the flame. You don't want to scorch the wrapper. You don't want to burn the rest of the cigar. You just want to make the end of the cigar black. Yeah. By doing that, it provides a much more even burn when you actually go to light the cigar.
Now, I go a little further. Every once in a while, I will pull away and I will blow on the foot of the cigar.
Right.
Just see if I get some ampers going.
Yeah.
And then continue if I do not. So,
no, so
it takes some time, but you know what?
Right.
If you don't have the time to do it,
don't light it.
Yeah, don't
light it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Well, so that's interesting, Tim. I tend to blow on the foot of the cigar after I've lit it. After I've gone into what's step 3 in our list here. You tend to blow on it when you're doing the toasting process.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So there's those variations, whatever. As long as you're following a general guidelines, you're in good shape. So lighting the cigar. So after you've toasted the foot, light the cigar with your torch lighter. Put the cigar in your mouth, puff, rotate in a circle, and hold it again as far away from the flame as you can while puffing and rotating so that it can get lit, but without being inside of the blue flame that's coming out of your torch lighter. I think that's an important point. You don't want to scorch the wrapper on your cigar.
Otherwise,
you want to light the end of it.
The first time you do it on a really nice cigar, you'll never do it again.
Right.
This is true. I think we have to kind of make the mistake first.
Let me say this, too. I find it easier to toast the foot of a cigar with a single flame than I do, let's say, a triple.
I agree.
Yeah,
triple
is faster, but it takes a little bit more skill because it gets so much hotter.
You get those runs up the side of your...
Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas if you're not experienced in doing this, start with a single flame and go from there.
I would consider all of us fairly experienced at this, and I still use a single flame.
Yeah.
That's a weird lighter.
Oh,
Where'd you get
that? I carry a single flame and a triple flame usually with me when I'm going to do some cigar smoking. Step 4 now, this is where I gently blow on the foot of the cigar to make sure the entire foot is... This is how I tell whether the whole cigar is lit. Is after I've toasted the foot, lit the cigar, I'll look at the foot, I'll gently blow on it, and then see if the whole thing is lit. I think there's nothing worse than... Well, I mean, maybe nothing worse, but it's bad with having a half-lit cigar. I see a lot of rookie cigar smokers do this, right? It's smoldering all over the place. You're not getting a good draw. You're puffing on it hard to get the rest of it lit. There's a possible for uneven burn. Now, most really well-made cigars will correct themselves after this, but I think many new cigar smokers don't put enough fire on the cigar. You know, maybe that's because everyone smoked a cigarette, or most people smoked a cigarette once in their life, and that's got paper, it's got chopped tobacco, it lights really quickly, right? It burns very fast. That's not the case with a cigar. You've got to take some time to make sure it's lit properly and spend some time getting it lit.
Absolutely.
So it's really not smoking until it's completely lit on fire. It's just you're not really getting the whole experience until it's all lit. Step 5, of course, enjoy your cigar. Now I kind of want to go around and talk about what people feel about what you use to light your cigar. Torch lighter,
cedar
whatever,
matches.
What do you got? What is your opinion on what you should light? Because it really here's where there might be some gray areas, right? As what you use to light your cigar. So I mean, what do you guys use? What do you guys recommend?
Well, mine, like I said, I just use a single flame butane lighter. But that's what I use, the lighter, and I just swear by it. As long as you don't, and the lighter, don't use a Zippo, please, with,
very important point.
Yeah.
So I had to stay away from Zippo, the cardboard matches, using the campfire to light your cigar. All 3 of those methods will ruin
the
your
grill.
The grill, yeah.
Yeah, I like the butane. I feel like it's got a very odorless, tasteless type flame to it.
What about a Bic lighter? That's butane, right?
I mean, I guess you could. It's just not as effective as a torch because it doesn't get
It's a
quite as
soft
hot.
flame. Well, it's a soft flame.
I don't like soft flames. I just don't.
In the car, I like a soft. So here's an instance
Now,
where
Stogie Santa, you said you actually prefer a soft flame. Is that correct?
Sometimes it depends. If I'm outside, I like using a soft flame.
Yeah, because
it's
the wind will blow
resistance,
the
right.
the wind resistance is better with a soft flame.
And a soft flame, that way I can also travel with it.
Yeah, exactly. Traveling with a soft flame is definitely the way to go. In the car, I like a soft flame because a butane lighter in the car, when it's moving, you'll move and you'll light the wrapper on fire. You'll light your face on fire. I like a soft flame in the car.
I agree.
I think
Now,
a
I'm
Lancero you can get to light with a soft flame, no problem. It's a much easier. So size sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes with a larger ring, you got to get that triple flame on there and get a lot of flame going.
I find that new lighter out there. What is it by Lotus? That wide flame.
Yeah, that looks
that's
really
nice.
cool.
It kind of seems like a hybrid between a torch and a soft flame.
It's really nice.
They're kind of pricey, but I would love to have one. I think that's an interesting new design on the
It is.
lighter,
It's
on the
very
torch
nice.
lighter. Yeah.
That's a great Christmas gift for all of us here at the Stogie Geeks if you're looking for Christmas gifts.
So Zedman says Paul puts holes in his shirts with ashes and holes in his face with butane lighters.
Yeah.
So when I had a mustache, man,
Wait a second, you had a
dangerous.
mustache?
It was dangerous. Well, I did it for Movember, the men's cancer.
Oh, that's right.
awareness,
All right.
So Tim, what do you like to light your cigars with? What's your weapon of choice? Tim?
Oh, sorry. Thought you were talking to Stogie Santa.
No.
I'm much with you. I carry a single flame torch lighter and a triple flame, and the triple flame is more because of the New England weather up here. Let's face it, you're trying to light a cigar out in a northeaster or in the bitter cold with the wind. Sometimes it's just easier with a triple flame, but I do prefer the single flame because I think it allows more control. And you don't torch that wrapper like Mark Jr. said. So,
What do you want?
Whatever's
Rum.
up there.
Rum.
No, I don't want the rum. I don't like that rum. No, because I'll just drink.
The
Yeah,
Abuelo's
the
up there.
bourbon. The bourbon. Thank you.
There goes your liver count.
There goes my liver. Right in the crapper.
but yeah, I mean,
Just ask Mickey. You can get another one.
I'm going to order one on eBay. Not from one of you guys.
Well, no.
I'm sorry, Tim. So you were saying?
you weren't even paying attention to me, dude.
I wasn't. I'm drinking.
Single flame all the way if I had a preference,
Yeah.
with the exception of weather. In which case, I take out my triple flame.
What about a double flame?
I don't personally own one.
I had one for a while. It was cool.
Yeah.
I don't like how they're in line like that. I feel with the triple flame, it kind of gives like a triangular.
Yeah.
It kind of fits the end of a cigar better.
I mean, I've got a couple. This is a soft flame. It's not bad. It's a Cohiba brand. It's a pretty big soft flame. I do keep a lot of the single flames around. Now for touch-ups, right?
It's all about the single.
It's all
flame.
about the single flame for
absolutely,
touch-ups.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you want to get a cigar lit, I have to say the
Show
lighter.
your booby lighter.
This is this could be possibly my favorite lighter. This is the booby lighter. This is a Las Vegas special. It lights up when you open it up and has the strangest flame on it. It doesn't even light. It's like the cheapest lighter in the world, but it's really cool because it lights up and it has boobies.
Next episode, I got to show you my favorite single flame lighter.
Okay.
Which one? I've got a couple of cheap lighters like these. Like some of them don't even work. But where's the big triple flame? Oh, the 5 flame lighter.
The quintuple flame.
This one, yeah. This is the Rocky Patel table lighter. I like this one a lot. This is
I thought that broke, dude.
No, this has some huge. This is a new one. This has some huge. This one will light your cigar very fast. You got to be careful though, because you can really easily scorch your cigar.
Lose your eyebrows.
I actually have a single flame table lighter. It looks kind of like a creme brulee torch. For those of you guys who know how to cook or cook for that matter, it's kind of like
exactly what you're talking about.
It looks like a torch. I mean,
I've got this one. What do they call this one? This is the space lighter thing. This is the table. Yeah. This is This is good for lighting it, but it sucks for touch-ups. Like,
right,
you can't
it's perfect
touch it.
for lighting. I tell you, it gets your whole cigar lit quick.
This is good. These
I
aren't
do like that
expensive
for
either.
a soft flame. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's like a butane, but it's like a soft flame too. So it's kind of nice.
Look at it, it's almost it comes up.
The
like
thing
that.
is, though, like if you really don't crank down and turn this thing off, it'll leak fluid and it'll be empty. And this holds a lot of fluid, so you can burn through fluid.
Let's go with this. Actually, what butane do you guys use?
I use the Cigar.
I use the Cigar brand. I've had problems with the Cigar brand. I buy the big, gigantic Cigar can for here in Studio B, and while we're sitting here smoking, sometimes watching TV, I'll just go through and I'll fill up all my lighters.
Because a lot of the cheaper butane is not filtered,
right,
and it will mess up your lighters.
It's like using the really cheap gas in your really high-end vehicle.
The Ronson, right. What you want to do is use something nothing less than 3 times refined.
Absolutely. I mean, I use Vector. I swear by it.
Yes, that's what I have, too. Yeah, I
Vector's
couldn't
good.
think of the name. Thank you,
I
Tim.
can last year. I mean, you seem to like it a lot. I mean, it's filtered 5 times over. It costs you a little bit more, but when you have $80 lighters, you don't want to mess with them.
Right. People come into the store, it's clogged, it's whatever, and then I ask them what kind they're using, and like I said, the Ronson is the worst.
Oh, absolutely,
by far. And it was funny. You go back to what you were saying before. When I get a new cigar, I'll light 3/4 of the cigar for one reason, maybe 5/8. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Almost 75% of the cigar. Why I do that is just like you mentioned before. All good cigars will catch up. Just to see how the construction of the cigar is.
Yeah.
Now, do I do that all the time? No, but I do that with a new stick. Every time just to play around. Does it mean that if you light the whole cigar up, it's not going to be a well-constructed cigar? No, but I like to do that just to see how the cigar smokes. Do you guys want to add on to the end of this segment how to fill up your lighters? Yeah, the first thing you should
because I don't think it deserves a whole segment.
No. What's most key that I tell people.
It's a good blowjob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Wow.
You know, it's funny. I don't know what my wife that all the time.
No, you guys are disgusting. With a can of air. This is the can of air I'm holding up for the camera.
Before you do
this
the
one's empty.
Before you do the blowjob,
you've been doing a lot of blowjobs.
There's a lot of blowjobs.
Before you do the blowjob, what you got to do is also purge your lighter.
You got to bleed the air. You got to bleed
the air
because
out.
before they get the butane into it. Right,
you have to create the vacuum.
Right, exactly. So what you want to do is get a little paper clip at the end.
So here's you don't want a paper clip. What are you, barbarian?
Yeah,
He's a caveman. So if you buy a Cigar punch that I'm holding up here, or a lighter, if you get a Cigar punch, what I do is I take the little tool that comes with a lighter. I know I got this with one of my lighters. It looks like a flame. It's got the little flame adjustment on it, and it's got a sharp point on the end. I use that to bleed the lighter. Also, if you buy a nice pair of these Cigar scissors, which I really like for cutting my cigar, we're going to do a whole that deserves a whole segment on cutting the cigar. But this has a little tool inside of the scissor. I don't know if you can see. I put my hand up behind it. It's got a little thing in there, and that's to bleed the air out of your lighter, right? So if you've got a lighter that's not full, you just push in on the thing and
shake it.
Yeah.
What I mean is,
so you go ahead.
What I do is this. Let me see your. I'll use
you want my
lighter.
poker?
You get the poker.
Get my poker.
And here is the. Get it, and you want to shake that light to get everything out. Just don't push
get the air. You want the air out.
The air. Think of bleeding your brakes. Having air, and you're going to shake.
I hold it upside down too, because gravity will actually force some of the air.
Push the air out, and none of the butane that's in it will come out.
And don't hold your lighter like that in a can like that, upside down. Push it in. If you don't have a window on your lighter like this one does, what I normally do is I hit it. I'll pump it like that a couple of times. You can feel the chamber.
Pump it?
Whoa!
There's a whole bunch of jokes here, like I said, man.
And you can feel it. You can feel the it's like a refrigerant. It gets cold. That, or you can put it to your ear. You hear the extra hissing. So small little tidbits doesn't mean a whole lot, but
bleed the air.
Yeah,
I like the shaking it idea though.
Yeah, it really that goes to show you that thing was full.
Yeah.
There's nothing left in the window.
And that's a good thing when you're talking about filling the lighters is you don't need that much fluid. I mean, just a little.
You're talking about
about
a half-inch in there. So you don't have to do it every time, but try to do it every third or fourth time.
I try and bleed my lighters at pretty much every time when I
bleed it and blow it.
This one, bleed it and blow it. This one, this one is
shake it.
This one has a completely clear window, so I can see exactly how much fluid. This is the easiest lighter to fill because it's completely clear. And Zedman was talking about that in the chat. This one you can see exactly how much fluid is left in there. So I can see when I'm low. I can see when it's full after I fill it up. And I like to, when I fill it up, I don't know. There's a certain amount, I think, air inside the can.
Oh, there's no
so
doubt.
I like to hold it upside down like this for a couple of seconds, make sure all the fluid is down there, and then you always fill it up with the can, with the thing facing down like that. Fill up your lighter. It's not a difficult. You got to do it a few times to get the hang of it. When you first do it, you're a mess. There's butane spewing everywhere. It evaporates really quickly. Just don't be near an open flame when you're doing it, but. You'll get the hang of it.
Yep.
So bleed the lighter. Now, what we're talking about, we're joking about the blowjob thing, but when
it's so important
in the open end where the flame comes
job.
out, right? See this flame comes out on the first shot. That means it's probably pretty clean. But when you're lighting cigars, crap falls in there. When it's in your pocket, maybe if it doesn't have a cover, crap will get in there and it'll clog the jets in your lighter. So you get the can of air things you can buy at any computer store or whatever, and just and blow it. I don't know if there's any technique to do it. You just take the can of air, wedge it in there, and blow some air through it and clean it out. And that's it.
It's very, very simple and easy to do.
Lighter maintenance in less than 5 minutes.
And don't get caught up on a lighter. Last but not least, people will try to turn around and get an expensive lighter because they have a bullet cut. Don't waste your time because they're useless. They really are.
Your cutter's your cutter, your lighter's your lighter.
And the
very
other
rarely
thing,
do they intersect.
Because what you're going to see more and more in the lighter manufacturing is that here's another thing that people will do is when they're filling up the lighter, if you look, you have an adjustment over here, plus or minus, you turn it. People will put in the lighter, they'll go like that, fill it up, and they don't realize they're turning the flame.
Oh, yeah.
So they go like this here, and then all of a sudden they try to light it up. They can't light it because they turned the flame down.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a big thing, but it is.
Flame adjustment's important.
It truly is. So this way here.
You want to turn it down while you're filling it,
You
and
should
then
turn
it
it
up
all the
when
way
you're
off.
done.
Yeah,
exactly.
turn it all the way off.
Turn it all the way
and that's
off.
so the butane can go all the way down, right?
Yeah, exactly. It goes in there because what will happen, sometimes going back into the bleeding, when you don't bleed your lighter, you'll sit there, especially when you see a window on your lighter like so, and you're pushing it, and it's only going 3/4.
Yeah.
It's airbound.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
I have to bleed it.
Yep, exactly. I mean, not all lighters have a window, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Anything else on lighting your cigar? We didn't talk about cedar spills. We've talked about it in the past.
Because I think they're a waste of time.
I think they're a waste of money if you're going to go buy them. Yep. I really do. I think that
I agree.
If you want to try it out, get some cedar from the boxes. Make sure there's no writing or anything on them, and give that a shot.
The only
I
time
think it's
I've
kind of
ever
pretentious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just like, look at me.
Paul, the only time I've ever enjoyed it was when there was a beautiful waitress in front of us bending over to light the cigar for us.
Were you enjoying the light, or were you enjoying the view?
No,
it was about the whole experience and the scenery.
Exactly. I know you should have done to the waitress, though, Timmy. Give her the light and say, I need a blowjob.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that would have gotten us thrown out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. This is a very high-class cigar lounge in New York City.
But I tell you.
It was memorable.
We were at Carnegie Cigar Lounge in New York City, and that's what the waitresses would do. They had some. I don't think they had spills specifically for them, but they had the strips of cedar that they had from the boxes, and they would come around and light your cigar for you.
On a very serious note, you're going to see the government eventually is going to get into the butane, and it's going to be restricted. I can see it coming for one reason, because people are getting the butane, and exactly I don't know how they do it. They somehow burn off the butane and get almost like a rock, and they smoke it and get high.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That can't be good for you.
No.
They say cigars are bad for you. That's going to be really bad for you.
Unfortunately, people want to buy a case. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just tell them to come in. It's very easy to see. Anyway, on a serious note, you're going to see this eventually regulated. I just know it's going to happen because it's just like
I'm surprised air cans haven't been.
The can of air that I had there. That was empty.
It's really sad, but I was living in Philadelphia, and there was a girl that was friend of a friend of a friend. I knew her name, right? And she got into this and would huff this a lot. She did it while she was driving and ended up killing somebody. And this is very dangerous. Not only can you hurt somebody if you're doing it, but you can really, really hurt yourself badly. And I'm surprised this hasn't been regulated, to be honest, because
it's a good safety point. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. we're talking about butane lighters. We're talking about butane fluid and cans of air. Keep those away. I mean, it's common sense. Keep them away from
really
children.
is. I mean,
even my
seriously.
nephew, right? We're lighting off fireworks. He's like 14, 15 years old. And he didn't realize how like hot the butane lighter
Right.
gets. He burned his finger.
No,
like
good point.
it's really it's not to be messed with by
No,
kids.
it's very sad.
Yeah,
I don't want to waste a whole lot of time.
yeah, but just be safe with
you know,
all the stuff.
whatever.
Like you're saying, it can be misused.
Very much so. It's a sad point. But,
How is everyone's cigar doing?
very good.
I'm enjoying the Raz, man.
Oh, you're
Absolutely
on to your
fantastic.
second cigar. You're on the Raz. Very nice. This one's smoking very slow. I'm still.
Mine's changed up a little bit, believe it or not. Mine did not have many changes until I got to the final third.
I got a little richness, more richness.
Yeah,
from
like
it.
kind of a slight chocolatey richness to
Yeah,
it. And
yeah. The leather
I tell you,
flavor
and
seems to have
heckable
subsided.
well, that's Opus X.
look at how. I mean, we've been smoking this now for how long? An hour and a half,
Since-
and this thing is still this much. And
You know,
impeccable
that's interesting.
construction.
Your wrapper too. My wrapper kind of got a little weird.
Mine's
Couple-
really oily.
Yeah, but your wrapper,
Still.
I can see a little crack in the wrapper there too.
Right there, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't impede on the. It didn't
That
impede
could
the
have been
smoking.
for taking the wrapper off.
Well,
too.
that didn't impede the smoking experience. Also, it was in a glass tube with no foam piece, so it was able to bang around in there a little bit. So it might have loosened up the wrapper over time.
Yep.
Would be my guess.
This stood up to the epic smoke test, in
Oh, I
my
think
opinion.
This was. I mean, as far as aged opus goes, one of the best, in my opinion, that I've smoked.
Wow.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, it's just a solid opus aged offering. This is what an aged opus should be. And the thing about opus,
This
you
is
can,
a 10-year-old opus, too.
you can age the snot out of them, and they still hold up. I mean, it's got a lot of flavor, a lot of punch left.
when this
to it.
when this was rolled, I was 19 years
Although
old.
the double Corona original
Wow.
release we had was aged out.
But that was from what, 96?
Yeah, that was
That was
That's
another
crazy.
solid 6 years on
Yeah,
top of it.
yeah.
You had a double Corona. I had this size, actually.
Okay.
The
okay.
Reserva de Chateau.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, everyone, Tim, did you have any closing thoughts?
Good night.
Yes. Thanks everyone for listening.
And have a great Thanksgiving to
Yes.
our listeners out
Join
there.
Absolutely.
God
Smoke
bless. Have a good
something
time with the
epic
family.
for Thanksgiving. Also,
Join CRA and
Thank
support
you.
those people that do join your forums and join a community.
yes. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see everyone on the next episode.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays, folks.
Ain't that the truth? Weird, like a sour. Got a little